This is an Innerstore Plus full height soft close larder. This one's in a 500mm cabinet, also available for 300, 400 and 600. It comes with 6 trays, each one taking up to 16 kilos, giving a maximum of just under 100 kilos. It's height adjustable and it comes with a smooth soft close action. In this video, I'll be showing you the installation process for this. So first of all, unbox all of your components and check them against the fitting instructions to make sure that you've got everything that you should have and everything marries up. For installing this unit, you will require a pencil, a set square, a tape measure, a ruler, masking tape, a drill, a Phillips screwdriver and a spirit level. Before you start your installation, make sure that the cabinet is strong and secure, fixed to the wall, and if you're using a 400mm or above, make sure that you have 6 legs fitted to the bottom of it. In order for this to work, you must make sure that you have a minimum internal cabinet depth of 452mm. So you need to find the centre line for your cabinet. And draw down the centre of the cabinet. This is going to be a line for your screws. So take your template and line it up with the centre line of the cabinet, flush with the front. You may find that you need to tape this in position. And from there, put your pilot holes in place for your screws on all of the red spots. That's 8 screw holes in all. So you can now line the runner up with the holes that you've just drilled. And then screw into position. So step 2 is to get your top runner in place. So again, the key is finding the centre line. Running your line backwards from there. You're then going to use the second part of the template, which lines up with the front of the line. Again, this will need taping in place. And then put your pilot holes in place. You can then remove your templates, ready for you to screw your top runner in place. I find it easier to do the 2 central holes first, as this holds the runner in position better to put into resting. Now assemble your components into the top frame. Your spring stop first. You've got the larger of the pins. Clip in into the larger 2 holes at the bottom. Then the 2 pins at the top each side drop down and clip into the row of teeth. You can then pop in your piston with the white section pointing backwards towards the piece that you've just put in. And these line up with the grooves on the side. You should hear a click as it goes into place. You can then put your cover over the top of this white spring at the back, making sure that the hole lines up with this pin at the back there. So it just clips around underneath and you'll hear a click as the pins engage with the holes. And you can then put your plastic cover on at the front, which just pushes down and slides into place. If you then turn this section upside down, you can put on your collars and covers. So slide this on first, making sure the grub screws are pointing in and the pins out. And then your cover over the top. And then repeat for the other side. So you can now attach the two parts of the frame to each other, making sure that the grooves at the front of this one on the same side as the grooves on that one. And just turn the bottom frame upside down and slide into position over the top frame. This is easiest done upside down so that the collars and cover caps don't fall off. So if you now extend the bottom runner, you can see that the underside of the frame has two metal bars which engage with the black plastic clips on the runner. So if you lift this into position and slide backwards so that these engage with each other, it's easiest to slide this right back into the cabinet and then push right in until you hear them click. So if you now extend the unit again, you can raise the frame up to the correct height, ensuring that you have a distance of 61mm from the underside of the cabinet to the underside of the top frame. And then you can lock this in position with the grub screws on the frame. So now if you squeeze in at the sides, you can slide down and forwards, and then the runner pulls into position. And when you release this, now acts as your stop for the runner. And if you close up the unit again, you can repeat the process, ensuring that you have 61mm at the front again, and then secure with the Allen keys on the frame. If you then open and close the unit a couple of times, the frame will find its own line with the top runner. And you can then secure it in this position using the Allen key provided in the kit, and just twist these grub screws in until they engage in the grooves at the side of the frame. And the same with the other side. And this has now locked the frame in the correct position. You can now put your frame brackets into position. So these position like that and screw into place. The top and bottom ones are fixed position, whereas you have 4 available spaces for the middle 2 brackets. You can then position your adjustment screws onto the frame brackets. These go on the outer holes. And again, repeat this for the other 3 brackets. Okay, you can now put your door brackets into position on the frame brackets. Is just hook over and then screw into position with screw and washer. Then repeat this for the next one up and for the top one, leaving this one out. So you can then close the unit And rest your final door bracket on here. You're going to use this for measuring up for the height of drilling the door. If you measure up from the bottom up to the central hole of the bracket there, you can then use this measurement on the door, making sure that you take into account the difference in height between the cabinet and the door itself. You can then take that door bracket and centralise it on that line. And fix this into position. And then repeat this the other side. And then the other 4 holes. So you can then open out the larder, take your door and hang it using the bracket that you've just fitted. And you can then screw this into position the same way as you have with the other ones. So now if you close up, you can then see how you need to align the door. Open up again and fix the other brackets in according positions. So now if you close the unit up, you'll see there's a gap at the top between the cabinet and the door. And this is brought back into line by adjusting the tilt. So if you extend the unit again, this is on the underside of the bottom runner, using a 4mm Allen key that's provided in the kit. You just insert under there. You twist and adjust until you're happy that the door's been brought back into line. Once this adjustment's been made, it's crucial to double check and make sure that you still have a 61mm measurement, and if you don't, adjust accordingly. You can now make fine adjustments to the position of the door. You can adjust the height by loosening off this screw on all 4 brackets and lifting the door up or down. You can adjust side to side by loosening off these 2 screws and shifting the door one way or the other. And you can adjust the depth that the door sits from the cabinet by again loosening off these screws and adjusting the screws underneath here, and that will either push the door out or bring it in. And you're now ready to put your baskets into position. This is done by taking your grey clips, which hook round the back of the frame and over the pins. And the basket just clips into place over these hooks. And you can then repeat this for the other baskets. The unit is supplied with a bottle divider, which most people choose to use in the bottom tray, but it can go in whichever one suits you. The top tray is height adjustable by moving these top collars. The basket clip fits in the same way. And then you can adjust the collars to the height that suits you and fix them in position using an Allen key and the grub screws. and the tray hooks in place in exactly the same way. So this is finished product. It'll give you many years of service as long as you look after it. Don't use any oil lubricants on the runners and only use mild detergent when cleaning it. Thank you for watching.